Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League and we got a different team to run here, and let's see if we can get some wins with it. So we're going to be trying out the Vigoroth paired with the Shadow Dragonite and the Mandibuzz. Decent lead here. They switch out into their Gligar. Kind of a interesting switch here. We're going to decide to go into our bulky Mandibuzz to deal with this Gligar, because we think that we should be able to take it out just matching shields. However, I don't know if the Shadow Dragonite would have been able to apply fast move pressure enough to take it out. So we'll see here. Mandibuzz here able to tank these Aero Aces. We're going to go for another Dark Pulse here. Let's see if they end up shielding. They decided to let it go, able to survive it. They actually switch out into their Magnezone. So switch out the Magnezone, we're going to go into our Vigoroth there. They go for the Mirror Shot bait, and unfortunately for us, we fall for it, and we are down. Okay, they actually invest the shield here, so anticipating that they're going to go for Wild Charge, we do decide to shield the Wild Charge. We have some energy here. Oh man, they actually have the Annihilate in the back. Annihilate in the back here is going to be favorable for them. They're going to be able to get some huge damage and farm down. We're going to have to try to catch a move. We decide to go for the Switcheroo. We go for the Aero Ace. They decide to shield, trying to get to another Aero Ace. Okay, they fire off a move. Let's see what they're running here. Okay, Night Slash decides to get fired off here. And unfortunately, because we have no shields, this Shadow... Oh, wow, they're running Ice Punch. Okay, so interesting moveset right there. Unfortunately for us, made the wrong call shielding that Vigoroth versus the Magnezone. We should have just let it go down, and then try to win the game with Shadow Dragonite at the end right there. But they did have Ice Punch. That would have been a tough game still. All right, this time they have the Annihilate. We're going to use our Shadow Dragonite for this situation. Our opponent here does end up switch out into their Mandibuzz, I believe. So Mandibuzz is going to have to tank the superpower, but we do throw on CAP timing, so that was decent. We know they're energy dry right now. We're going to have to come back in with the Vigoroth here because we don't want this Vigoroth to be matched up against their Annihilate. Our opponent does end up throwing a move. We're going to have to tank it. Dark Pulse gets revealed, so Aero Ace Dark Pulse moveset. We're going to go for this Rock Slide here. We needed this Mandibuzz to go away, so we're going to take it out immediately here. Let's see if they come back in with the Annihilate. If the Annihilate comes back in, we're going to use our Mandibuzz. That's exactly what we do, and we see the Reggie in the back. Okay, there's some play here, but we're going to have to get through a bunch of obstacles. Our opponent does shield the first Dark Pulse correctly because it's going to be doing the most damage. We shield the Zap Cannon right there. I believe we did get debuffed. I think the animation showed, so we are doing less damage now. And then we're going to have to just double shield here because we want to get the switch timer. Okay, we did get debuffed again. So we switch out immediately when we can. Our opponent does end up going into their Annihilate to potentially get all this energy, and that is exactly what they do. We had to get that extra Rock Slide to even have a chance, and then our opponent here ends up doing some good chip damage. We're going to go for this Aero Ace undercharge so we can get some extra energy. We're going to go for this Dark Pulse now. It's going to do as much damage as possible. We need to get to 3 moves, most likely. They do show the correct first Dark Pulse, and then our opponent is able to get to another Zap Cannon to take us out. So GG's to our opponent. That was the tough backline. They pretty much had good alignment the entire time. Annihilate showing up versus the Vigoroth is just super tough. That's just super hard counter, and they're just able to farm us down, unfortunately. All right, next game. Let's see. We got the Vigoroth versus the Goodra. Okay, pretty okay lead here. We are going to be able to get to the move first, so we fire off the Body Slam. Body Slam here gets it into the yellow. We're going to try to potentially get to another move. Oh, nice catch. Able to get to Skarmory here. Skarmory versus the Mandibuzz is the next matchup. We are going to have to maybe shield one eventually because this is going to be the... Okay, Sky Tag, minor damage. We're going to go for this Dark Pulse to chip away at this Skarmory. We're going to threaten a potential KO here, so this is either a shield or it's going to get the... they survive that? Wow, this is a really good range Skarmory. Nice call by them. We are going to have to just shield that. Here, we're going to have to deal with this Goodra now. The Goodra did have a lot of energy, so we do get the shield back. Let's see what moveset the Goodra is running. Okay, Thunder Punch is used. We're going to save that energy on our Mandibuzz and switch out into the Vigoroth. They decide to throw a lot of their energy, so we know they're relatively energy dry right now. Here, we're going to decide to come back in with the Dragonite. The Dragonite is applying a ton of fast move pressure. Look at this Shadow Feraligatr, already close to 50% just from the fast moves. Right there, we are able to shield, and we are going to be able to farm them down because of the Shadow Dragon Breath damage. That was insane. Shadow Feraligatr, very spammy, but very fragile if you can get like another Shadow fast move pressure Pokemon, and that's exactly what happened right there. Next, we got the Vigoroth versus the Lantern running Spark. Definitely don't want this Lantern on our backline, so we're just going to play this one out. You try to throw on good timing here. Body Slam does get used, and our opponent does throw on CAP timing, so we at least save ourselves 1 Spark damage. Here, we're going to have to shield. They do end up having the Surf Throne, so we're going to get switched out. Our opponent does reveal Trevenant in the back. We do have the Mandibuzz, which hard walls the Trevenant. So we're just going to throw 1 Arrow Ace and then look for the farm down, because we were going to be up to 100 energy anyways. This Shadow Ball doesn't do that much damage. We're looking to get the farm down. Huge farm down. Lots of energy on the Mandibuzz to throw back at that potential Lantern. Lantern was relatively energy dry, but they were close to a move. We throw the Dark Pulse, then we throw the Arrow Ace. Let's see if they really care about this Lantern. They do invest the shield. Our opponent here has to consider throwing a move because we are at another move. They decide to throw the Surf energy. We're going to come back in with our Vigoroth here. They have enough energy to throw another Surf. And now we're going to keep the shield and see what they have in the back line. Ends up being the Sableye. So Sableye here is going to be have to take the Rock Slide. That Rock Slide right there does enough chip damage that we can go back in with our Shadow Dragonite, and that's going to just absolutely tear them apart. So they decided to leave because they had to get to 2 moves, and there was no time for that because of how powerful these Shadow Dragon Breaths were. All right, let's see if we can end up on a good note. We got the Vigoroth versus the Magnezone. Okay, great leash here. They switch out into the Gligar. Here we go again. Similar matchup that we saw last time. This time, we are going to just play this out a little bit differently, I believe, because we know that Magnezone is trying to grab some shields, possibly. We have to tank that first Arrow Ace. We're going to go for these Dark Pulses. Basically, we're just trying to either get this Gligar as low as possible or potential KO. The opponent does end up shielding, so they kind of want to preserve this Gligar, it seems. They are going to be able to throw a move here. We can survive it, so we're going to let this go. We're going to make sure we throw on good timing. Okay, our opponent goes for the back-to-back Arrow Aces. We're going to decide to just let it go because we know that, okay, they actually switch out of that matchup into their Magnezone. Then we counter swap into our Vigoroth, so we're going to be able to apply a ton of damage here. Our opponent does reach a potential Wild Charge, but like we said last time, we're just going to let it go because we know the 2-shield Dragonite could be potentially brutal. They actually end up having the Mantine in the back. So they had double flyers in the back. We are going to be able to have 2 shields for this situation. We do get the last shield. Our opponent here throws an Arrow Ace, and we're going to throw on really good timing here. We're going to apply another Dragon Claw damage. That does huge amount of damage, and now we just have to shield, farm down, and then we're going to be able to beat their Gligar here because they're relatively energy dry. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Shadow Dragonite with 2 shields. So that was the right play. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.